Okay, so now ready and jump right in. Okay.
Michael, go pick a house in New York City, any borough, go pick a house. See if it's empty. See if there's a for rent sign. See if the mail's being delivered. If you like it, go live in it. Go there. Have a Shake Shack delivered by DoorDash to your house. And guess what? After 30 days, if the owner doesn't show up, you have rights to that house, Michael.
Sounds like some squatter issue. What's the deal? What's the latest on that? I mean, this is really outrageous, and I got some ugly landlord stories to tell you. But what's the latest wrinkle?
So yes, there's been 2 high-profile squatter issues in the news in New York City, both in Queens, by the way. One woman, her husband worked for People magazine, so she brought a camera crew there, and there were squatters in her mother's house that had died, an estate house. They're trying to get it ready to sell a part of the estate, and she goes there, and the police. She says, "Well, I'm going to then change the locks."
So Adele, you're getting arrested right now?
I'm being arrested.
For what?
For being in my own home.
And the police arrest her because she can't, because the squatters have rights, because they've been there, they said, for over 30 days. And under New York City law, that means you can't get them out. Then there was followed by another house, $930,000. Again, people bought it, they renovated, they had tenants to move into it, and they went over to the house and they see a shadowy figure inside in a hoodie. And guess what? Squatters had been living there. So she calls the police, and the police tell her, tell her and her husband, if you go change the locks, we're going to arrest you, because even though they may have entered illegally, guess what? They're like tenants, Michael, under New York City law. And then let me give you a third one, even worse. Texas. 30 days in New York, you say, is bad. Texas, 10 days. 10 days. If you're in a house 10 days, you have rights.
Squatters breaking into my house again through the window.
Where are the governors? Where are the politicians? Where are the legislatures? Hello, Mayor Adams. Don't be going to the baccarat across from where my office is, going to the private clubs. Hello, Kathy Hochul. Hello, Governor of Texas. Where are you?
It's always been bad for landlords. It's really always been bad. Tenants' rights have always risen above. I've been a landlord for many years, and I'm in between properties now, probably, thank goodness. But, you get a notice to pay or quit, and you go to court, and as soon as the tenant shows up, the judge bends over backwards to give them as much time as they want. That's even when you have a real lease. Now these people are getting in there and saying, well, look, I got this lease on the back of a napkin or something. And,
a Shake Shack receipt.
Or a Shake Shack receipt just showing that, well, they must live here because they got stuff delivered here. So therefore, I mean, it's insane. We're through the looking glass here. Let me give you 2 quick landlord stories.
But Michael, can I just stop you for 1 second?
Sure.
These are not like tenants that have a lease. I understand that. I have a good friend who's got tenant issues right now. These are people who just go in. They're criminals, in my opinion.
Of course they are. They're trespassers, and then after a magical 30 days, they happen to be tenants. Or in Texas, after 10 days, they go from trespasser to tenant. That's the law, and it's got to be fixed. And I know in Florida they did just fix that. So anyway, I have a tenant that takes over property I had in Central California. Nice family, husband, wife, 2 little kids. Rent's not coming, and I'm doing my best to work with them, get them out. They had some sob story. I finally go over there one day. The place has been gutted. They're gone. They've moved. They took the microwave out of the wall. I mean, and just damaged the property just out of spite, I guess. But you never know who it is, okay? That's one really routine tenant turned squatter story. Here's another story. This was in Van Nuys, California, or as I like to call it, Burbank adjacent. That way I get more money for rent. So I get a call. I made extra at the time. I get a call. Hey, hello. It's Lieutenant Dave Smith, not his real name. Starts asking me questions about this property that we had rented. And I went, yeah, I'm the owner. And then the story starts to unfold when I guess he realizes I'm maybe not the guy he's looking for in terms of the criminal activity. There apparently was a shooting there. Now, that was interesting. As we learn more about it, it was a shooting connected to the meth lab that they had opened up in the house. Now, all my fault, because I rented it to a cash tenant who happened to be a Russian model. Yeah, I don't know. I'm just a sucker for a pretty face. I'm a sexist pig. So she and 3 girlfriend models rented the place from me, clearly doing it just to get the guys in there to start cooking the meth. And we learned about it because the neighbors, this was a nice little neighborhood. They called the cops. The cops check it out. The neighbors are like, hey, their car's coming and going at 2, 3 in the morning here. It was like a drive-through crack store. So the cops, check it out. They go in there, guns blazing. One guy is killed in the backyard.
Oh
The other
gosh.
another guy is wounded and hauled away, and another guy escapes. So I get to, then they give you the property back. Here you go, and I have to have the, hazmat team go in there because it's been a meth lab. So they got to go and clean it all up. And by the way, in California, we then sold the property. You don't have to disclose if that kind of criminal activity took place. If there were death in the house, I would have had to disclose it. Anyway, so a happy ending for the people who bought the house, but just an example of the nightmares that landlords go through. And now with this squatting thing, it could not be worse.
Well, your problem was you're both a male renter and a capitalist. Okay, so
Guilty
but
as charged.
there are true tenants with true problems. I happen to have a friend going through it right now. No heat, no water. Landlord not being responsible for months through this cold winter. So we don't mean to demean that, but we do mean to demean the squatters' rights when they're truly criminals. That's the big X here. It's not,
Is that what that
mean
means?
for Elon
Okay,
Musk.
thank you.
Okay, It doesn't mean it's for Elon Musk, but it really, truly. Hey, politicians, where are you?